no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what's going on? You are watching the Raiders Report, and today's show presented by my good friends and sponsor, Panda Sups. If anybody out there is looking to get into the best shape of their life and have the best tasting protein on the market, head on over to pandasups.com, but I want you to use code Hayward where you can save 40% off. And if you're wondering why code Hayward, well, guess what? I'll tell you here in a little bit. So what exactly is coming up here on today's episode? We're going to talk about 3 rumors that have really been circulating around the internet. The first one, are the Raiders signing Casey Hayward? There's some crazy stuff that happened last night, and we're going to talk about that. Are the Raiders going to trade for one Aaron Rodgers? Some new odds have just recently come out. I'm going to give you the latest on that story. And at the very end, with all these Rodgers rumors, does John Gruden like Derek Carr? I thought Mike Mayock said something pretty interesting the other day in one of his conferences. So if you want the Raiders to go out and sign Hayward, I want you to go ahead and like the video right now. There was a lot of drama going on last night, and there was a lot of people that were excited. But if you want the Raiders to go out and sign free agent cornerback Casey Hayward, seriously, go ahead and like the video. So what's the latest on him? So there was a report that came out last night that said the Raiders signed Hayward. I'm telling you right now, it's zero Chucky heads, tuck rule, tuck that. It hasn't happened as of yet. Am I saying it's not going to happen? No. All I'm saying is this. One person, Bill Williamson, who usually does a pretty good job, tweeted out that the Raiders did it, and then it was just like every single person and their brother writing an article, did a video, did this and that. As it stands right now, it has not happened. The Raiders are in talks with Casey Hayward, and it might end up happening, but the other interesting part about this was this. Like, originally the rumor was, okay, it's going to happen. Then another report came out that said, well, the Raiders might actually be waiting to hear back from Richard Sherman because he's their priority number 1. So I'm going to ask you guys this question. If you could only pick one to sign, because let's face it, you can only pick one to sign, I want you to type CH for Casey Hayward, or I want you to go down in the comments section and type RS for Richard Sherman. Now, here was like a little, we'll call it a cover-up tweet from Bill. He said, hi, folks. This is not my report, and this is regarding your boy Q went on Twitter, said like, hey, he heard this news from Bill. This has not happened. There was some sort of glitch. Sorry for any confusion, but I did not report this. Unfortunately for Bill, there's screenshots, there's things that, well, we can see that there was a tweet that went out there. He said that his Twitter glitched. This is all I'm saying. Bill, the next time that your Twitter glitches, I want you to take it out. I want you to blow in it just like our old Nintendo 64 games. And if you want to turn it on or off a few times, you can go ahead and do that. When I saw glitched, I literally laughed out loud because it reminded me of something that my dad would personally say. And sure, Bill's up there in age a little bit, but let's face it. He put out a tweet. He jumped the gun. It ended up being wrong, and now he's just trying to cover his you-know-what. So it didn't glitch. Go down to the comment section. Let me know. What's your favorite N64 game? I'm a big Mario Kart fan. If anybody wants to challenge me, you know where to find me. Now, this is the important thing. I don't want you to get got. So don't get got going forward the entire offseason. There's going to be a lot of rumors out there. I mean, the amount of videos I saw on YouTube, the amount of articles I saw just out there from all these other sources that said the Raiders signed Casey Hayward, just because one person tweets it, it doesn't mean it's true. We do this show, and we work very hard to keep you guys up to date on the latest news, on the latest rumors. So hit that big red button that says subscribe and turn on those notifications, because if Hayward does sign with the Raiders, we're going to be going live. I don't want you to miss it. Subscribe to the Raiders Report. So what about this? Are the Raiders potentially going out and signing Hayward? I am going to give it 2 Chucky heads. I'm going to say people are talking. I believe it's 50-50 chance. If you've watched the show for a long time, you'll know that Hayward's been a player that I've been saying, like, hey, this is a guy that the Raiders should go out and get. Is he over 31 years old? Yes, he is. Are the Raiders looking for a veteran cornerback? Absolutely. The other reason why I know that the team is interested, they didn't draft anyone. He was potentially, or not even potentially, he's already worked with Gus Bradley. There's been multiple reports out there that they could use him inside and outside, and they have actually the money to be able to go out and do it. The other reason why I'd actually sit here and say I'll take Casey Hayward over Richard Sherman is because if we're just talking about fit and fit alone, Hayward, to me, at this point in their careers, I actually think would be the better fit for what the Raiders are trying to do. Does Richard Sherman have a higher upside? Sure. Sherman's also coming off one of the worst years, if not the worst year of his career. Casey Hayward's still playing, I think, producing at a pretty high level and probably going to be half the price. So in terms of the Raiders potentially being interested in Casey Hayward, it's two chalky heads. If it happens, guess what? We're going live. Now today's show again presented by my good friends Panda Subs. You guys can see the discounts down there below in green. When you use promo code Hayward, you're going to be able to save 40% off on the best workout supplements. And since so many people think that it's going to happen, we're going to do a fun little deal here. If you go ahead and make a purchase at Panda Subs and use code Hayward in the next 24 hours and Casey Hayward signs, we're going to throw in a free Panda Subs hat. You guys can see it on screen right now. This is a normal hat value of $25, but if you're confident and you want to get into good shape and you want to go ahead and use code Hayward, if it ends up happening in the next 24 hours, you get yourself a Raiders hat. Now, some of my favorite products out there, I've been using the Sleepy basically every single night trying to get a good night's sleep after a crazy 2021 NFL draft, but I also ate a lot of pizza. I had a lot of beer, and I need to wake up early and go to the gym. You take one scoop of pre-workout, man, and you're going to be ready to rock and roll. But after you get done working out, it's important to fuel your muscles, because if you do work out, it's the tearing process. That's how you get, stronger. Then you need to be able to recover quicker. That's what the BCAAs are a great thing to do. And, if you drink a whole bunch of shots the night before, also a great thing to do. And my favorite thing, or one of my favorite things, I should say, their thermogenics, it's their burn, it's their fat burner. If you need to shed, honestly, like 10 pounds, I challenge you this. If you take a scoop of this every single day and you use it for an entire month, I guarantee you drop some weight. So head on over to pandasubs.com. I want you to use code Hayward, 40% off. And remember, if you make a purchase in the next 24 hours and Hayward ends up signing, we're going to throw in a free hat from Panda Subs. Don't miss out. It's in the comments section. Mitchell Renz here from the Raiders Report. Let's get into a story around Aaron Rodgers potentially getting traded to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, the report is from Jeremy Fowler, and in terms of how likely it is to happen, I'm going to give it only one chucky head. I still think it's a small shred of truth at this point. The report, and it's basically common knowledge at this point, Rodgers wants out of Green Bay. He's not happy with the situations he's in, and I don't really blame him. Since the Packers went ahead and traded up for Jordan Love in last year's NFL draft and didn't really do anything around him, and then he goes out and has an MVP caliber season, I can understand some of his frustration. Rodgers is also apparently interested in joining a team like Las Vegas or going out to the West Coast. That is per Jeremy Fowler. But the Raiders are also this. They are comfortable with Derek Carr. So here's the exact quote from Fowler on Rodgers signing, or technically getting traded to the Raiders. It's reportedly intrigued by the Raiders as well, so they have to be on the list. They're happy with Derek Carr, nothing going on right now, and they very well could extend Derek Carr sometime soon. But the Raiders look into every single quarterback situation. They looked at the past free agents or trade options, so John Gruden is some sort of always lurking. You can't discount them, which I agree. My only part of this for Fowler, and we'll show you his trade destination odds, is this. If you're an NFL team, if you're a coach, you always have to look into every situation. That doesn't always mean that you're just, poking around or want to get rid of a player. It just means you're simply doing your job. However, you guys know I'm a betting man. I mean, you almost have to be, right? It's the Las Vegas Raiders. Here are Aaron Rodgers' trade destination odds. What's interesting is not only do the Raiders have the second highest odds at plus 600, but you can also see this. Inside the division. Would I be surprised if the Chargers ended up trading for him? Yes, they just had the Rookie of the Year. But if you were to ask me right now which two teams probably have the best chance of going out and getting Rodgers, I might actually say the Denver Broncos. And yes, I will also say the Las Vegas Raiders. But I know how y'all are. You guys have a commitment to Derek Carr, and that's totally okay with me. He's a very good quarterback. So I'm going to ask you this. T for trade or P for pass? Should the Raiders trade for Aaron Rodgers? He is a phenomenal quarterback. You can't deny that. So if you're going to type T for trade, I want you to let me know why. If you're going to say no, type P for pass. You got to let me know, right? That's what this show here is all about. So let's go through and look at some of Aaron Rodgers' numbers in 2020. 70.7% completion percentage, 4,299 yards, 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, the QBR of 84.3. Guys, you guys got to realize the numbers here are absolutely redonkulous. That's why he ended up winning the MVP. You can make the argument this was his best season of his entire career. However, For some of you people out there saying T for trade, maybe you remember this. I talked about this literally probably about a year and a half ago, and I had a lot of people yelling at me like, no, the Raiders shouldn't trade for Aaron Rodgers. And, well, I hate to break it to you, you should have last season because it would have been, well, pretty good. But this is how his contract breaks down, okay? The Green Bay Packers will have to eat a lot of dead cap if they go ahead, $38 million if they go ahead and trade Aaron Rodgers. So basically what this means is this. If the Raiders go and trade for him, they would have to pay him $22 million in 2021, $25.5 million in 2022, and 2023, again, $25.5 million. So essentially, you're getting Aaron Rodgers for $73 million or $24.3 million per year. That's pretty damn good value. So here's my question. If we're looking at just 2021 and a simple sample size, would you rather have Derek Carr at $22.1 million, or would you rather have Aaron Rodgers for $22 million? If you sit here and say DC, I'm simply going to say you are crazy. If we are just looking in the realm of quarterback value at that price, it's Aaron Rodgers every single day of the week. But to everyone out there saying like, it's Rodgers, it's Rodgers, it's Rodgers, I'm also going to say this. I'm a big believer that whatever team ends up trading for him, they're going to have to give him a new contract. Now, do I think it's going to be a long-term contract? No, I don't think so. But if your plan is not to extend Derek Carr, you need to look into this. But again, if you are about to drop a lot of money, if you're going to give Derek Carr $30 million a year, I'd actually rather you give somebody like Aaron Rodgers $40 million a year when you really only have to commit to him probably for like 2 to 3 more years. But if he does ask for that new contract, he's going to be up there around Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott range. I would be shocked if he went over Patrick Mahomes, but you can see right now that $33.5 million figure under his name, that's simply because like that's what he would make on the Green Bay Packers. It's not what he would make with the Las Vegas Raiders. But if the Raiders were to go out and trade for him, I'm a believer that's probably going to be like a 2-3 year contract, probably going to be somewhere around $39-40 million. But here's the issue, okay? Not even issue. I like Derek. He's a good quarterback, and I don't mean to rip on him. But if Aaron Rodgers wants to be a Raider, you do it. Because he's the NFL MVP. He makes the team a lot better. Are you going to have to give up draft capital? Yeah, you're damn right you are. But if you can upgrade at the most important position, which is the quarterback position, you got to go ahead and you got to do it. It's really as simple as that. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be coming after me saying, Mitch, I don't know if I agree with you. Derek Carr's our QB, this and that, this. Guys, I really don't think it's going to happen. But it at least calls for some discussion here. Like, that's why we make this show. Not only keep you updated, but we do this show to give you guys a voice. So if you want to talk more to me about Derek Carr, maybe more about Aaron Rodgers, if you want to talk to me about Casey Hayward or anything going on in your life, you can always hit me up on Instagram. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. Please slide into DMs. Let me know what's going on. All right, y'all. So CBS, they decided to throw together some trade ideas for one Aaron Rodgers, and this is the very, very first trade idea they came up with. The Raiders receive Rodgers, the Packers receive Derek Carr, and then your next 3 first-round picks. I'm going to ask the question, even though I already know what I'm going to say 95% of people are going to say, would you end up making this trade here? If you're like, Mitch, I would make this trade, I want you to type A for accept. Or are you going to go ahead and type D for decline? Would you make this trade? Now, I know a little bit earlier on, I said if Rodgers wants to be a Raider, you go ahead and do it. However, this trade to me still doesn't scream that Rodgers wants to be a Raider, which is why I personally don't think it's going to cost the Raiders that much if Rodgers truly wants out, because let's face it, I'm not going to say it's like the Antonio Brown situation where we got him for an absolute steal. Sure, he didn't end up playing, but nobody in their right mind thought AB was going to be a 3rd and a 5th round pick. When it comes to Rodgers, if he wants out, he's not going to get a quarterback like DC's value plus 3 first-round picks. So CBS for throwing that one up there, I actually think is pretty idiotic. But my trade idea is a little bit less, and I know some people are still going to be like, oh, man, it's a lot. But you're getting the NFL MVP. So you're basically giving up Derek Carr, who I think could go for like 2 first-round picks. But he also loses a little bit of value because, again, you're trading for Rodgers. The other reason why I'm going to keep it at 2 first-round picks is this, because the other team that's really going to be competing with the Raiders if it were to go down would be the Denver Broncos. And you can't let your division rival go ahead and get this quarterback, so that way you might have to give up just a little bit more than what you actually want to. So I'm curious here, grade this trade from a scale from 0 to 100. Do I absolutely love it? No, I'm not 100% sold on it, but I am going to give it probably like a solid 75, 80. I like Carr, but you can upgrade with Aaron Rodgers. Do I really want to give up Carr and 2 first-round picks for a quarterback because offense isn't really our biggest need? No, not 100%. But if you're going to be competing with the Denver Broncos, which I believe you are, this is probably what it's ultimately going to end up costing. Now, CBS also did another trade idea that actually did not involve DC, and it was this. The Packers receive Henry Ruggs, first-round picks in 2022, 2023, 2024. As you can see, in 2022, a second-round pick, and 2023, a fourth-round pick. The only way I pull this trade off, and I'm going to simply say it right now, the only way I do it is if then you trade Derek Carr for 2 first-round picks. Like, giving up Ruggs, 3 first-round picks, a third, and a fourth, that's a lot of draft capital. I'm also the one that sits here and says the Raiders definitely struggle in terms of the draft. I thought they had a pretty solid draft, though, this past week. But if you're going to do that trade and you're not going to get a quarterback, or Derek's still going to be on your team, you have to at least trade him away. You have to at least get 2 first-round picks, or else I'm probably not going to end up doing that deal. All right, the last story here on today's show, does John Gruden trust Derek Carr? We hear it all the time, all these rumors, blah, 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 blah. It's for Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. The Raiders are very confident in the quarterback that they have. You can't deny that. Mike Mayock spoke after the draft and said, John Gruden loves quarterbacks, loves all quarterbacks, but he especially loves DC. I'm always a big guy on actions speak louder than words. The fact that the Raiders didn't draft a quarterback in 2021, 2020, 2019, 2018, not that should tell you everything you possibly need to know about how John feels about his quarterback, because I'll also say this. Gruden has never historically shown that he likes quarterbacks in the draft. He's more of a guy that's into veteran, which is why you need to take the Aaron Rodgers trade rumors a lot more seriously than you ever took any trade rumors regarding somebody in the draft. But in terms of, does Gruden like DC? Yes, he does. That doesn't mean, no, it's not impossible for him to move on. It also doesn't mean that they are going to move on. So here's the question I'm going to hit y'all with before I go, because anytime I ask anything about Carr, the nation is so split. And I would like to be able to get to a point doing this show where we have a quarterback and everybody loves him, right? Like, it's somebody that 100% of the nation loves. Now, maybe that's never going to happen, but this is way too split here. So why for yes and for no, do you trust Derek Carr? Now, if y'all have made it this far in the video, know that I appreciate you. We just crossed 78,000 subscribers, which is absolutely awesome to me. I'm going to be live tomorrow on the Raiders Report starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, so make sure you join in. But I am going to warn you, there's going to be something a little bit different, and it involves my face. No more mustache, going to go clean-shaven. So if you think I look like I'm 21 and I shouldn't be drinking beers, I totally get it. Hopefully you tune in tomorrow, set that notification, subscribe. We're going to be live tomorrow, Raiders Report, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific.